The original Senate Bill 418 group came together, and it was people from all over the state, different organizations, different agencies, different roles within their organizations. And so we just talked about what is existing in Oregon and what might we need to create. So having a balance of new and current programs, and how can we bring that together?
We recognized that there was sometimes a lack of coordination and even understanding of what each sector was doing around supporting students. And there was a lack of understanding of the information that needed to be shared. So one of the most exciting events that happened was an inaugural summit. It attracted over 350 practitioners, counselors, faculty members, teachers, and policymakers. We systematically planned time within the program to bring regional teams together, and we provided them with all types of data relative to their local communities and a template to help them plan where they would go next.
I think it's quite amazing that before this started, that the regions had identified these needs across the state, and that was really why the legislature took action and made these initial investments.
The 418 funding allowed us to bring together our counselors and advisors who work in our K-12 school districts, along with our college advisors. We also involved workforce support, which was wonderful. Our CTE program came in, and we had regional meetings that we called C3, focusing on improving the transition and career and college preparation of our students.
It was fantastic for this first time out. We were able to pull together partners from across sectors, so higher education, school districts, private industry, all kind of problem solving together.
We also have been able to support an increased amount of opportunities for career experiences to help guide the decision making that the students are actually making around what they see to be in their future. We recognize that one of the things that is missing in a lot of our kids' perspective is what those options even are, and until we give them actual career experiences, they're not going to necessarily know how to create that plan for their future. We believe that we're positioned to now reach out into our communities and get greater and greater support from business and industry.
This legislation has been huge in Central Oregon. We have a number of young people who leave high school saying they're going to college and then don't show up in college. So bridging that summer between high school and college, we've had college folks coming into our high schools and vice versa, and really convening people who weren't talking before about what this looked like for young people. And I think that's set a really strong foundation around what these relationships look like.
I was a superintendent for 5 years, and every one of those 5 years we spent lamenting the fact that we didn't have funding, we didn't have resources, and all the things that we didn't have. And yet this group of counselors, administrators, and advisors in 4 short meetings really addressed that problem and tackled it. We had the trainings happening, and plans are now being formulated in 6 districts for implementation next year. So that's exciting.
I worked with the programs around e-mentoring for Oregon Promise and also the FAFSA Plus program. We noticed a huge difference. The program actually started in 2014 with about 4 sites, and with this funding we were able to expand up to 225, so we had 106 new sites over the course of the $418. One of the things with the Office of Student Access and Completion, we do a lot of student outreach and a lot of direct supports to students, and wanted to think about what's the best way that we can support students. And in that way, we're already emailing students and have a low response. In our research, learning that texting is a really good way to reach students, we looked for some software programs that would support that. We had an amazing response with Signalvine. Our initial text that went out asking students if they wanted to participate, we got probably an 80% response rate back from them, saying, yeah, this is something I'm interested in. Yes, I want to have an e-mentor, or no, just send me this blanket text. Don't bug me all the time. So they were really honest with what they wanted from us.
Even though we might connect kids to potential careers for their future and help them to understand that their education is making a difference in their life to get them to a positive future, that we need to do our job to create the guided pathways of education that they can visually see, from their middle school education to their high school courses to their post-secondary courses. That's what Senate Bill 418 has done for us. is it's provided that support to bring the adults together so that we're going to be able to now better serve our youth.
As a matter of fact, I was having a discussion with our early learning director and asked her, what's the difference between, before and now? She said, before, I understood my connection, pre-K, to kindergarten to third grade. I got them. I got that picture. I knew what my role was. She said, but now I can see my role in a greater work. And so people are seeing the connection of where they do make a difference and where their work is impactful, whether it's, they're a high school counselor understanding trauma-informed care, or whether they're looking at brand new 3- and 4-year-olds coming in and understanding what challenges they're going to face in the work market.
What we want to see in the future is continued engagements with counselors that have been brought together, with supports for students, in particular around FAFSA Plus and the other initiative that this work funded.
The dollars from Senate Bill 418 really got a conversation going that people had been talking about, but it created this momentum in the state where education and workforce and businesses and community-based organizations all started having a conversation. This work needs to continue forward for Oregon to be successful. So we need to continue supporting this work to support those conversations that were started with this Senate bill.
It's going to be different in different areas. I think some areas the ball just needed to get rolling, and they have ways to sort of continue that momentum and work with the support that they have in their communities.
Having everyone engaged at the same time, it keeps the students at the center, but it also keeps us from blaming one another. And I think that's the biggest thing that came out of 418 is we're all in this together. So what can we do? Pick up your boots, get going and get to work together, rather than looking at, well, if only this particular sector did that particular thing, everything would be great, never even talking to that particular sector. So it's increased our understanding, and it's really given us impetus to continue work. Now, the one thing I've heard is without someone to keep that agenda and facilitate those action plans, the work will not progress as quickly. 418 allowed us to just zip forward and get a lot of things done in a short amount of time.
It's 1 year of work under our belts. We know that this work is not finished. How do we help legislators understand the importance of investing in a cross-sector venture that really spans both K-12 and post-secondary education at the same time? These kinds of investments help us meet our goals to achieve 40-40-20, to help more students graduate, and to move successfully into their careers.
On behalf of the Chief Education Office, thank you for being part of this college and career readiness movement. With just 1 year of investment from the legislature, this has been the launching pad for community partnerships and statewide education collaboration. With continued support, we can ensure that each and every Oregon student is prepared to navigate their own unique college and career path. This momentum can ensure a brighter future for Oregon.